Let us know in the comments. Let me ask you guys, what is a guitar type that maybe you never would have played, but you find yourself playing, early on, that you would have like used to not love, but now you find yourself playing more and more of? And two, if you had to choose one, not necessarily specific guitar, but type of guitar, like an HSS Strat, for example, or like a standard Tele, to be your desert island guitar, if you had just one, what would it be? Let us know in the comments. I've always been a Telecaster guy, but recently Fender sent this Ultra 2 HSS Strat, and I gotta say, I've been playing this a lot. I might be a Strat guy now. This guitar has won me over. I love this guitar. It kind of made me think, like, over the years, I've got a lot of Strat style guitars here, and I really love them. So let's talk about them. So first of all, you got the Ultra 2 Strat. This is a new pickup from Fender called the Haymaker, I believe. Humbucker, really good sounding humbucker pickup. Lots of clarity, but it's a really full, big sounding humbucker. And then these are their newest gen noiseless pickups. They came out with this new Ultra 2. I have some thoughts on these noiseless pickups. We'll talk about that maybe in a little bit. But otherwise, it's a standard, Fender Strat. It does have the S1 switch here. You can push it and it splits this humbucker. It gets a really good split humbucker sound. Neck on this has a satin finish on the back of the neck. Feels super comfortable. Locking tuners. It's got like a much more modern carve back here as far as the heel join, everything like that. It's a super comfortable guitar and it sounds great. The tremolo actually is really nice as well. So that's the Ultra 2 Strat. Let's talk about another one. Now, this guitar is a little bit different. This is a Charvel Pro Mod DK24 HSS. So Charvel, if you didn't know, is a Fender brand. Fender owns Charvel. So this guitar was built in the Mexico facility. I believe that's where like the made in Mexico guitars, I think they're built alongside them. But a much more modern take on the Strat. You can see back here, it's very much, the lines are sharper. It's got like a much more modern carve here, although it's not unlike the Ultra Strat. I've gone different directions on the pickups. We have more videos on this guitar as well, linked below. But currently I have a set of Lambertones pickups in here, and they're going to stay. This is a Red Eye bridge humbucker, and then these are custom wound triple shot middle and neck. Curtis overwound them for me to match with the bridge Red Eye. These are available. I'll link below to the Lambertone site where you can grab a set of these if you want for your HSS guitar. I also put a new wiring harness in here. This has got a Gun Street wiring harness, so it now works like a traditional Strat 5-way setup. Locking tuners, everything else on this guitar is stock, except for the Tremolo thing in the back here. That was in here when I bought it. I got this thing used for like $600. These are awesome guitars, really good value. And the more I play this thing, the more I love it. Let's talk about the next one. Finally, we have a traditional Strat setup with an actual single coil in the bridge. Now, this guitar I bought because it is my guitar idol's guitar, my guitar hero. This is his signature model. This is an Edge signature Strat, the Edge from U2. Fender made this guitar not for very long, so these are not easy guitars to find. It's completely stock. I bought this guitar used from a former Fender employee. So he watches the channel, he reached out. I mentioned in a video that I would like to get an Edge Strat. And he reached out and he's like, hey, I saw you mention that you wanted an Edge Strat. I have one, I'll sell it to you for a deal. And the deal he gave me. And this guitar is great. This guitar has changed my mind on the traditional Strat setup, and there is a reason, because this guitar does not have a traditional set of pickups in it. Now, the middle and the neck pickups are Fender Custom Shop Fat 50s. I think I'll subtitle myself if I'm incorrect. This bridge pickup is what the Edge puts in all of the bridge positions of his Strats, and it is a Seymour Duncan pickup. It is voiced a little more like a P90, so it's a hotter output bridge Strat pickup with like more mid-range, which is why I think I love this guitar so much, because it sounds really good in the bridge position. My beef with Strat, traditional Strat guitars, the bridge position just sounds kind of thin and shrill to me. This pickup fixes that problem. It sounds really good. An HSS setup also fixes that problem. But with the HSS Strat, you can often run into like the pickups aren't that balanced. One thing I love about that Ultra 2 Strat of the HSS is that it's super balanced in all 5 positions. And so you get single coil tones and humbucker tones, but none of it sounds out of place. But this is an Edge Strat. I love this guitar. I'm not going to sell this guitar, even though they're going for quite a bit on the used market these days, just because they're hard to find. It's got like a very unique neck carve that the Edge specs. So if you can get your hands on one of these, I recommend it. They're awesome.
Hi, my name is Sean. You've probably seen me on the channel a couple times now. I used to tour in a band called Era. I was a professional guitar player for 10 years. I guess I could still be considered a professional guitar player. And I'm just here to talk about why I love the Stratocaster. specifically the HSS. I actually just learned something before hopping behind the camera. Eddie Van Halen is kind of the guy who popularized the HSS with the Frankenstrat. He put in like a Gibson humbucker to go along with the single coils. And for me, I love this guitar because you have that humbucker capabilities for like the higher gain stuff, which is what I played for so long. But then you also got the iconic positions for clean guitar. I think the Stratocaster is the most iconic guitar and the iconic sound that everyone chases. And it's just, I don't know, it's just the way it looks, it sits so comfortably. Most of us play guitar sitting down most of the time anyway. So when you're sitting, it just kind of sits really nicely. I've gotten to a point to where when I play a Les Paul, it almost feels awkward or off kilter in a way. But man, the Strat's the best, and I think you'll agree after you hear some of these playing samples.
I actually have a few more Strat style guitars around here. One of them is a PRS Fiore. Really cool S-style guitar. It's a different scale length though, so it's going to be a little more removed from like a Fender Strat. The other one that I have that I really love, I've had it for a long time, is a Shelton Skyflight 4. Bradford also has one of those Sheltons, and he loves, his is gold, mine is white. Killer guitar. It's called a Skyflight 4 because it actually has 4 pickups. It's 2 single coils in the bridge, and then a single neck and a single middle, and then you can turn the bridge pickups on and off individually, so you can get like 21 different pickup combinations or something crazy. The point of this though is over the years my guitar tastes have changed, and I've kind of like more guitars have come in and out of my hands, and it's like guitars that I would never have like thought that I would bond with, like, you know, back in the early days when I was playing Telecasters mostly. If you would have asked me, like, would you use a Strat for your main guitar? I would say probably not, no. Just because I didn't love the two and the 4 positions, which is weird because I do now. And I just never loved the way the bridges would sound. But these days, I find myself playing Strats all the time. HSS mostly. And I would actually tell you, if I had to choose one type of guitar to cover everything that I would ever need, it would either be an HSS setup Strat type guitar or like a PRS Custom 24, because all of those guitars can get like so many different sounds, but the Strat sounds that it can get are just so iconic and so unique and cool sounding. It'd be hard to pass it up as your one and only desert island guitar. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. More content like this coming very soon. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.